Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. Today we're going to talk about turning an RDH or an RDA into a virtual orthodontic treatment coordinator or virtual TC. Same thing can go with being like, they can help run the virtual Clin Checks. They can do virtual consults. There's so much on virtual consults that I already have in my channel. So before you listen to this video, I would strongly recommend that you go into my channel and just look up virtual consults as a keyword and watch all that content first. So actually this video was kind of spawned by a lot of RDAs and RDHs messaging me in social media and saying, I am so tired of being in person. I really liked it during COVID times where I could do a lot of work from home, but now they're making me come back. How do I get to be a virtual TC? How can I do this on my own time? And there's two different types of virtual TCs. There is synchronous and asynchronous, okay? So it's very rare that a doctor is going to support this de novo. I mean, if this is your own doctor, maybe if they already know you, they can help you create this, but really the best way for you to do this is as a side hustle. And of course, you need to look at your own contract and see if you even can have a side hustle to do on your own time. If it doesn't say that you can't, then you can. And, you're not actually touching any patients. So again, you have to look at the dental practice acts in your state or in your country to see if you can even do this. For the most part, it's just admin. So usually you can. I'm not a lawyer, so you can always ask one if you're not sure. Don't just say because Dr. Amanda said you can do it, because maybe you can't. But what I would do is I would grow the side hustle first, proof of concept, and then start to reach out to people on LinkedIn. Obviously making how I started my side hustle business, which is now pretty darn big with 80,000 followers, is all LinkedIn and social media and mostly YouTube. If you look at my YouTube channel, almost 30,000 subs, these aren't bots. These are like dentists, dental industry professionals, mostly in the US and Canada, Australia, EU. If you have the knowledge, people are going to follow you. And if you're a pretty charismatic person, certainly you can go TikTok, you can go, it's about who is you got to think about who do you want to listen to, right? Are you wanting dentists to listen to you? Or are you wanting consumers to listen to you? It doesn't really matter as long as people are listening to you and you have a brand. The thing is that people are going to follow they're going to follow you. And then they're going to want to come to an office that you're at and that you work with. So if you can grow that brand and explain that you know things, talk about different subjects, talk about maybe do a demo on your own kid. Like, how do I take orthodontic photos? Have someone video it. It's not that hard to make content nowadays. It doesn't have to be professionally edited. You can always use Fiverr if you want. Again, go to my social media section within my YouTube channel, watch all those. You can learn how to do that, how to use Fiverr, how to do, to do small edits. You can do the edits yourself if you have no budget. This really shouldn't cost you anything to do, to get it up and running, to add new content every day. LinkedIn is free. If you don't pay for the premium, then it's going to limit how many people you can connect with per week. But when I first got started, I didn't do premium, and I would just, connect with 30, 40, 50 people a week, start posting content, start commenting on what they post. And in time, it starts to snowball and snowball and snowball. And same thing on Instagram, snowball and snowball and snowball. And you start to get a following. People will hire you. And I can pretty much tell you, if you grow your channel, and grow your knowledge base and grow your brand, once you're grown, I can send you to doctors. There's doctors asking for virtual RDHs, virtual RDAs to do orthodontic treatment consulting, synchronous and asynchronous. Obviously, if you're going to be doing synchronous, you're going to have to be available during those times that the patients book a virtual consult, and you'll have someone on the other end in Zoom who's going to be, maybe you're going to mail them some retractors, maybe they're going to be using spoons or chopsticks. You're going to learn about this in my channel, and you're going to capture, screenshots for your orthodontic records. So instead of doing it in the office with a mirror, you're going to do the best you can to capture them in office. If it's asynchronous, they're going to send a series that they're going to take on their own, which might not be quite as good. And then you're going to follow up with them to ask questions, do some screening. Obviously, you're not making a diagnosis. All you're doing is capturing the records, not unlike you would do. Obviously, you can't get a scan virtually. But you can get as much information as you can, chief complaint, what they're looking for, maybe talk to them about some options, answer any concerns or questions they can have. And then you're going to take that data and give it to the doctor, who's going to make a treatment plan and decide if we're going to have them come in to finish up the consult, to take a scan, to finish any x-rays that might need to be taken. If this is a patient of record, you might already have the x-rays. If it's not a patient of record, if it's a new patient, you might not have the x-rays. But it's basically an extremely warm lead that's being hand delivered to the doctor. In terms of compensation, it can be hourly. It could be base plus production, plus bonus for every case that actually starts. As a treatment coordinator, the nice thing is if you're starting with it and you're developing the relationship with the patient, and then you can do the paperwork for the contract, I mean, I think it's great if you can get base plus bonus, for every patient that you get actually started, and just deliver these super flaming hot leads on a silver platter to the doctors. That's pretty incredible. Now, you're not going to be able to do these consults without the doctor being part of it, because everything's going to have to be HIPAA compliant. So you want to make sure you're going through the office for this part. But the main thing is that you're creating awareness and that you're available to work with doctors. And this shouldn't be something where you have to be exclusive with a certain doctor. I mean, you can do it one day with one doctor, one day with another doctor, and they might not even have to be in your state, So just thinking outside the box, you might be able to have different dates and times depending on your kid's schedule. Maybe this is something you can do while your kids are at school, or late in the evenings when they're asleep. Because I mean, a lot of people want to do consults, at 7, 8 p.m., or when your spouse is home. Obviously, you need to have, it's a little bit iffy, in terms of technology. I always tell doctors on the flip side, if they're going to be logging into your, your server, remote login or whatever, if this is cloud-based server, it's really better if they give you the tech and you only use that computer, you're only using that computer. It's not your personal computer. You're only using it to log in and to get into the practice management system and to do these consults. It's not used for anything else. I have done this before, or at least trained people how to do this, and I always had a very separate computer. It's very different from my home or other business computers. So, there's definitely some puzzle pieces you have to put together, but I think this is really the future of orthodontics. And you don't have to work for an orthodontist office. You can also do this for GP, pediatric dentist office. A lot of people just want to get started, but they need someone who knows what they're doing. So they might, like I said, be willing to do a few hours here, a few hours there, but that's maybe all you need to get a full-time compensation. No, you might not get benefits. This might be 1099 situation, but you might be fine with that, if you already have benefits from your spouse. And this is just a great way to pull in income, have a great side hustle gig, and to have the schedule you always wanted and be able to raise your kids your own way and be available for their activities and things after school. That's why I started doing what I did, 11 years ago, and it's totally taken off and I love it. I would never go back to regular office. It just doesn't work for me in my current life right now. When my kids are off of college, maybe it will, but to be honest, I love the flexibility. I love that I can, I've got old aging parents. I can hop on a plane if I need to and go check on them, my friend calls me, she's sick, she needs help with her dog. Oh, good, I can go see her. Like with a regular ortho office, you are booked out 6 months, like booked out. There's no wiggle room. If you have to change a date, sometimes there's 30, 40, 50 patients already booked with recalls and reconsults and stuff like that. It's a disaster for your business. You really can't. And as much as I'm an advanced planner, when you've got kids, teens, and aging parents, not everything is always planned in advance. Stuff happens pretty often. And I love being able to do what I want to do. So anyways, not to sell it to you, but you can do very, very well doing this. And it's really starting to take off, and there's going to be a few innovators who are going to get out there and they're going to launch it, and they're going to be able to train the trainer. And from there, you're going to be able to, look at oral myofunctional therapy, which is something that only hygienists can do, dental assistants can't do, but they are doing their own business. I've got 2 of them that I work with. I send tons of referrals to, and that's just from me, let alone from all the doctors that I tell to send it to. They're doing this all remotely from home. Making really good money, way better than they probably did as a hygienist, and having the flexibility and the freedom they want. And they also lecture and teach. They train the trainer. You get on the speaking circuit, the lecture circuit. It's going to be so much autonomy and so much happiness. So if you have a really great personality and you're a fun and dynamic person, I say go for it. And I'm happy to talk to any of you about it. Do I have the secret sauce? No, but I've done this already for myself, so I definitely can answer questions. Just Don't ask me to give you legal advice because I can't. But I say go for it, you know. And then once you kind of got the bread and butter worked out and the kinks worked out, you can, you know, you can start to market it. And hey, if we start collabing together and you're sending me people, I'll start sending you people. That's just how I work. And you know, in time, who knows, you might actually land on my website. So if you decide you want to do this and you want to chit chat, glad to talk to you. Straightsmile Solutions. All right, thanks.